Hey guys, so right now I'm going to explain about the philosopher named Montesquieu and the effects he had on our Constitution. He actually had huge effects on our Constitution. So the thing about Montesquieu is that he believed in two types of republics. Now, a republic, remember, is that you get to vote on representatives, right? So you believe in an aristocratic republic, and that's one part of the people. So usually that meant that either the rich got it, or people own land, or something like that. Or if you were born into the right family, those are the people who got to vote. Or you believed in a democratic republic, which is the people choose the representatives through election. In a democratic republic, the people themselves are the source of all political power. That's why the beginning of the Constitution says, "We the people," right? And that's why our politicians should be concerned about their jobs if they're not doing what we want, because we voted them in so that they could do what we want. If they're not doing what we want, we need to vote them out. So we, the people, have the power. That is something called popular sovereignty, where people get to vote on things like this. You get to vote on laws. You get to vote on politicians. Montesquieu believed that citizens in a democratic republic needed to be educated in civic virtue and learn to identify their own interests with the interests of their nation. What does that mean? Well, you might not want to pay taxes every time you make a purchase, or have taxes taken out of your paycheck because you like having control over how to spend your money. But you agree to pay taxes because you know the money will be used to make schools and roads, among other things, better for you and everyone in your community. So basically, he's saying that you need to be vested in or have an interest in your country, because what's good for your country is what's good for you. Like, I don't like paying taxes at all. I hate paying taxes. I hate that it's robbery. They steal my money every single month. But I let them do it because I know they're going to make schools and roads out of it, and all this nice infrastructure we have in the United States. Both democratic and aristocratic republics are examples of limited government. Now, what does that mean? Where there are rules and laws to ensure that those in charge cannot take advantage of those who are not in charge. So we have to make sure that the people that have the power in this country can't take advantage of you and me, who are not politicians. The government controls what we do so that we don't harm others, but we are still free to live our lives mostly as we choose. Another idea in Montesquieu's writing is that the government is bound to follow the laws just like everyone else. So the government, the politicians have to follow the same law we do. They are still held accountable. This idea is called the rule of law. Now, this was groundbreaking with Montesquieu because before there were monarchs, and monarchs could do whatever they wanted. So with the rule of law, the monarch would be held as accountable as every other citizen in the country. So just like you can't break the law or commit a crime without consequences, neither can your representative in Congress, the governor of your state, or the president. You're probably noticing that many of Montesquieu's ideas are present in our government today. Montesquieu also described protecting the people from government by splitting government power among a legislative, executive, and judicial branch. In the U.S., the president can't pass a law all by himself. He has to have the approval of Congress, which is the Senate and House of Representatives. And a judge can't give orders to the military because those powers belong to another branch. The executive branch, the president, is our commander-in-chief. He gives commands to the military, not the Supreme Court or the judges. What is this called? This is called separation of powers. It ensures that no branch has enough power to abuse the rights of the people. It also makes something called checks and balances possible, where each branch can stop or check the other branches from overstepping their power. So basically, the president can veto any law made by Congress. Congress makes the laws, remember? And he can veto that. So that is the power that the president has to check the power of Congress. If a law gets passed, both Congress and the president, then it goes to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court will decide whether it is constitutional, whether it follows the laws of the Constitution. So they have a check over the president and Congress. So they all have checks and balances on each other. to make sure they can't take advantage of the people. Checks and balances happen when the president vetoes a law passed by Congress or when the Supreme Court declares a law unconstitutional. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to write or draw a sketch using AutoDraw to show separation of powers or checks and balances. And then you're going to explain that picture and how it applies.